was for this. I have no idea.
You should be good to go.
Okay, my name is George Andrews. I'm the chairman of the Conservation Committee. Post Office Box 620 East Templeton, Mass. 01436. I will open the meeting at 6:04. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is minutes of the July 2020 meeting. Can everybody give an answer, yes or no, if they have read them?
I'll
Yes.
accept the minutes.
Yeah, just a minute. Please okay the minutes.
We don't need that information. So we notified the authorities there. Absolutely. I'll carry the conversation.
George, would you like me to make a motion?
Yes, please.
When they get to that one.
I motion to move the minutes of last minute as written.
All those in favor?
Need a second, George.
Excuse me?
Need a second.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So before you keep going, George, I just wanted to let you know that we have quite a few abutters and interested parties this evening. If you are a member of the public and not an abutter, I'm asking that you please turn your video off. All participants, please keep your microphones muted when you're not speaking. TCTV will mute your mic or hide your video if necessary. Zoom participants from the public may ask to comment by pressing the thumbs up sign, which is found under reactions. Should be at the bottom of your screen. Public comment is also available live stream through TCTV on YouTube channel via the chat box. We have somebody watching the chat box so that when a question comes up, they'll bring it forward.
Everyone on.
All set?
All set.
Okay. It is now 6:06. I'm going to open up the first part of business. For 15 Carruth Rd, request for determination of applicability. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the provisions of the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held in request for determination of applicability filed by Sherman and Friedrich LLC for CIL Realty of Mass Incorporated. Project location is 15 Carruth Rd. Description of project is a construction of a 5-bedroom dwelling. The hearing will be held on August 17, 2020 at 6 p.m. via a remote Zoom meeting from TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact L. Witter at Templeton mass.gov. The request for determination of applicability is available for public review in the Developmental Service Office, Room 3, 160 Patriot Road, during regular office hours. George Andrews, Chairman, Templeton Conservation. Okay.
Mr. Terry is here as the engineer for the project.
Okay. Mr. Sherry, you said?
Terry.
Mr. Terry. Okay, Mr. Terry, would you like to bring up what we are going to be looking at?
All right, so we're looking at a 5-bedroom home. This property is going to use water service that's in Carruth Rd. So we're going to extend a water service to the building. The building will have a leaching facility located, if you're on the street, it'll be located to the left rear of the building. We're going to provide some paved parking in the back of the building for residents and the people who are attending to the residents. The property will have a underground propane tank, and the intent is to remove the existing buildings that are on site and leave the remaining property as it is.
Any questions for anybody? Okay, my one question is, there is only a 2-inch line running the whole street. So is there going to be a booster put in so there'll be better water pressure above you? Because there's already people above that area that loses their water pressure at certain times. Has that been addressed, or you know about it yet?
We've not been informed of that by the water department. We have spoken with the water department on a couple of occasions, and we're going to just diligently work with the water department to make sure everything is addressed and, fashioned correctly.
I was asked that by somebody who lives in the upper area. Okay. Dave, any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Oh, no, not us?
No, not you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We talked to the board first. Anybody from the board have anything they want to ask, questions, or anything they need to say? Amanda?
Yes, Amanda. How far away from the wetlands is the work being performed?
So the construction of the house, the parking lot, and the grading for the building is in excess of about 125 feet from the flagged wetlands. Removing the farm barns, that will get us within, we expect the erosion controls to be
There it
within
is.
about 90 feet of the wetland flags. If you look at the upper right portion of the image.
I've lost the image. Right. Right. Hello.
So the idea is that we'll put a limit of work around the existing buildings. We'll remove the buildings, restore that area, and the lawn area for the house will not extend out to the proposed limit of work. The limit of work is just for removing the buildings.
So once that is removed, and that you will make sure it's down in the same height area as it is now on the ground, you won't be raising the ground in that area at all?
No, we have no need to fill in where
Okay.
the buildings are being removed. The only material that'll be placed there is a loam and seed, so we can restore the vegetation.
Okay, thank you. Any other board members have any other questions? Hello?
Both Amandas say no.
Okay. Dave, is there any question? Dave, Simon, is there any question? No? Keep losing everybody, so. All right. Okay, okay. Is there any way I can get a determination? No, I can't do that yet. I got, if there's anybody that is in a butter, has any questions that pertain to just the conservation part of this. Mr. Pease.
Yeah, I just have a couple questions. And they pertain to the wetlands delineation portion of the plan. And Keith Morris delineated the wetlands, correct, according to the plan?
Yes,
Now, is Keith Morris a certified wetlands biologist?
yes, he is.
Okay. My second, well, I got a couple questions here. Has the town confirmed his findings with regards to, with a wetland scientist as well.
Yes, we did do a site walk out there and where they told us they were.
No, that's not my question. My question is, has the town confirmed their findings with a with a scientist, with a certified wetlands biologist?
Have we done that? No, we have not had anybody go out other than what is there on your paperwork.
So we did not have a certified biologist confirm their findings, correct?
That is correct.
So my question, my supplemental question to that, under the wetlands protection, it's my understanding that there was some $20,000 that was set aside to provide funding to conduct such activity. Is that still available?
Laurie, I have no idea if we have it.
I'd have to look. I'd have to research that. I have no clue.
As far as
Well,
I
maybe
know,
we need to get the Department of Revenue involved to find out if that money still exists.
I can find out, I'm sure.
That would, okay.
think-
So, all right, so we still have some outstanding questions, so that's just one of the things. Now, the other thing that I noticed was, excuse me, the other thing I noticed, there was no notations of findings by Keith Morris. Are we gonna have those?
I don't know what you're requesting.
Well, he had no notations of his findings.
So the wetland flags was placed in the field and we located them. What else are you looking for?
Well, they weren't delineated on his plan as far as what he found, where he found it. Is there a supplemental document that's going to be applicable or attached to this?
So we didn't intend
Detailing.
to. We felt that so typically the wetland specialist will determine the limit of the wetlands, place a flag along the limit of the wetlands. We locate them and present them on the plans.
Mm,
If you need soil logs and
We need soil logs, we need plant vegetation logs, we need wherever standing water was available. We need that information.
if the board requests,
Well, that's
he's not a member of the
kind
board.
of goes with it. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Looks incomplete to me. Anyway, I have another question here before the other folks. I'm sure the other folks have some questions on runoff and so on and so forth. I don't want to occupy all the time. I will come back with some additional questions, but I also have, has an environmental audit been conducted or is it on the agenda to be conducted?
what kind of audit are you looking for?
Well, how about the oil spill that occurred on the site that was not reported to the DEP?
Sir, we did the site design plans. We were not hired to do an environmental audit on the property.
Okay, you are aware, I know the town is aware because it's been reported that there was a major oil spill on the site and remediation would definitely be necessary on this particular issue. And to this date, I don't have the information, but to this date, I have not seen any remediation activity taking place in regards to the oil spill that was on the site.
So
I'll
Dave,
have to ask the owners to review or
Okay,
the
so
applicant.
it looks like we may need a continuance here, is what I'm saying. But anyway, that's just some of the questions that I have that we have knowledge of. Laura, you had a question?
I don't know anything about the spill. Can you give me a time
Well,
frame?
it was reported to the fire department that there was a spill, and I don't have the details of it. I can't say because I was not personally there, but I can give you some background information. There's an oil tank, probably 200, 300, 400 gallon. I'm not sure what it was punctured, and the oil was left to drain into the ground. And that was the end of that. And to this day, no remediation, no activity of cleaning up that site has been conducted.
Thank you.
We'll have to check into that.
I have other questions, but I'm going to let other people speak because I'm sure they have concerns as well.
Wow. Anybody else want to talk?
I'd like to hear Mr. Pease's questions.
I think Frank Dembeck was put his hand up. He's muted.
Okay, now you can talk.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Frank Dembeck. I own property on Old North Road, which abuts this this property that they're planning to develop. And one of my concerns is that all the water that builds up on that property actually runs directly through my property down on Old North Road. And I'm just wondering, with this property, in this development, just how much more runoff I'm gonna have that's gonna be running down through my property down on Old North Road. I know years ago when Mr. Graves had the property up there and had the farm on there, and it was pretty much field at that time, there was a considerable amount of water in the spring that used to run down through there.
It still is.
And it runs down under Old North Road through an old stone culvert that's basically collapsing now. It's starting to fall apart. So I'm afraid that with all this runoff that could eventually come down from this project, that it could take that culvert right out down on Old North Road, and then it would leave the people that are living down there on the end of the road down there in dire straits. That's the concern I have, is the runoff on that property.
Well, my question, my observance is they are not buying that back section near your house. They are only buying the section out in near Carruth Road. They're not buying all that lot. That back part of that lot, as far as I know, is still staying with the present owner and is not being sold.
I don't think so.
So I'm gonna disagree with you, George.
Oh,
Yeah.
My
okay.
understanding is they're going to purchase the entire 17 acres.
Oh, okay. I was
They're
not
going to
aware of
put-
that. Then what
Well,
we were told.
that's what I've been told. And they're going to put a single building with parking behind it. And I'm pretty confident that this single building and parking is going to be less impervious surface than what's on the property existing.
Oh, absolutely.
So the runoff from this property after this house and parking area is built should be less than what is there existing. And add to the fact that the hay fields are going to be allowed under this project, allowed to grow back to a woodland area, there will be less runoff in that regard as well.
That answer your question, Mr. Dillon?
Well, a lot of that runoff basically runs directly down from where they're proposing this development. It runs right down behind the existing houses that are there now, and then it runs right down along the edge of Old North Road. So basically the runoff from that building would be running directly down to Old North Road, and then it would run along Old North Road. It wouldn't be coming through the field or the grown-in open area now. It's pretty much like a jungle out there now, but it would be running right directly down, probably maybe 700 feet or so from this project down into the wetlands, and then it would run directly down along the edge of Old North Road and would end up crossing down where I'm talking about that stone culvert.
Onto your property.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got water coming down towards my property. I'm at the bottom of the hill. I'm Joe Babineau, 45 Old North Road. And yes, water comes down. If there's more water, I can't get rid of the water.
Anybody else need to say anything?
I don't know if you
Yeah,
got it.
it's right at my property too, on 58 Old North Road, that culvert, and it is sinking.
Does the town highway know about that?
Well, I don't know. Somebody should know.
So I have a question. So is this going to be augmented? First of all, you have there's other issues. I grew up on that property, so I know it pretty well. But there's a stream that splits right down behind, right in through that wetlands. It augments the concern of hardscaping this and having all this tremendous runoff go down there to a culvert that's not set up, no storm drainage. So those are concerns of those, I believe, those residents down there. But I have a question regarding the ZBA, the zoning board activity. I know it was mentioned, Lori mentioned it about being residential agricultural. And since it's in here, I don't know if it's applicable or appropriate at this particular meeting to address. So if I'm not, you can just cut me off. But it was indicated that
like I said, basically with conservation, the ZBA, we do not discuss anything. If there's a problem.
Oh, okay, but it was noted, but it was in the flyer that I got for this meeting, so I thought it was part of our discussion. No,
Not that I know of, no.
no, Lori. Yeah, Lori, go ahead.
We don't have a fully executed, we don't have a building permit application yet. So this is very
Okay.
preliminary.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
You know, this.
Well, that clarifies. I wasn't sure because I saw it on there, so I wanted to address every point that may be coming down the line here. So,
George, the
yes.
only thing I had sent you, I just want to make sure that everybody that wants to be heard is heard. And I had sent you an email from Mr. Lutchford.
Yes, I've got it right here. I was just.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you had gotten it.
Yeah, I have it. It's right here. And I will read Mr. Lutchford's comments to have them put into the record. Okay. As the owner of Betty Pond, I was alerted by area residents of the proposed residential project in the old Pease property located on Carruth Road, that the wetlands there, if impacted by the project, could have an impact on Betty Pond, and the Pease wetlands are part of the migratory waters and tributary to Trout Pond and the upper NW and Betty Pond. It is my understanding that the Conservation Commission will have a meeting that I cannot attend, and I would like to have this put into the record. So this is what he said. He is approximately a mile down the street from where the corner is. So, and if it goes into, you know, we don't know if it's part of the water system going out there, out to, what is that called up there? Well, anyhow, there is a water system further out there. Everything out the head of the waters starts up there in Brooks Village, and it runs down the other way down across and goes down further and further and ends up somewhere down near Hubbardston, from what I understand. Dave, do you remember what that's called over there?
No,
You don't?
no,
Over at Kozakowski, over at Alan's house?
I don't.
Okay. Miranda, do you remember what that's called?
No, I don't remember.
I can't remember it either. Okay. But anyhow, that's that's we've got that in the record. Does anybody else is an abutter have anything to say?
yeah, I have one thing. I think I think we need to have a continuance based on the fact of the information that I provided with regards to an environmental audit, to find out if we should bring in we should get into DEP and do an investigation regarding the oil spill that took place for remediation. Those issues definitely need to be taken into consideration. And also a continuance based on the fact that the town has yet to have the wetland delineation by Keith Morris, who my understanding is a certified wetlands biologist, that we have our certified wetland biologist certify his findings, as well as, let's see, I got one more thing on that, but I think that's
Any,
Mary,
Maureen,
Mary Bolchapek has her hand up too.
okay, Mary?
Yes, I have a question or a concern too. The runoff from the large parking lot that they're planning to put in, which is like for 24 cars.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
The paved area is going to provide for 7 vehicles.
7 vehicles? Well, I thought on the plan I saw where it was like for 24 or something that there was going to be. It's going to be a larger area than that.
no, from what I've been reading, it does call for what he says.
Is there a plan to put this house in and then to add on to this property?
No, ma'am.
No, just one house.
Just one building with 5 bedrooms,
And then and how many people?
5 people.
I thought it said two per bedroom.
No, ma'am.
And then you're going to have staff in there?
Yeah, you gotta have
So
daily
these,
staff.
yes.
Because I know on the plans, it says that 2 people could be per bedroom.
2 per bedroom.
So
yeah.
you
Well,
could
that's the design calculations that the state requires.
have-
But
and my
this-
big concern
This
is,
building, this property will not be used, it will not have 2 people living in 1 bedroom.
that's guaranteed.
Well, that's speculative.
Yeah. Okay, once you get it in there, we'll see. But my big concern is the parking area. You're going to salt and sand that?
I'm sure that they will address any kind of icing conditions with something,
So
yes.
where is that runoff going to go? And yes, that water does run down into Brazel's Pond. It streams right down, right through my brother, where the Dembeck's property is, and it goes right down into a pond that people swim in.
So ma'am, this will be a small paved area that will be salted, and the pavement is over 150 feet from the wetland limit, which means that
But
you're
that
gonna have
doesn't stop the
150
water
feet of,
from running.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your
I said that doesn't stop the water from running down, and it constantly runs. When we have a lot of rain or whatever, that area in front of our houses is constantly full of water, and the ducks live in there. There are migratory ducks that come and live in that area. There are all kinds of places for the woodcock to nest in there. So there's plenty of agricultural birds, whatever you want, migratory birds that come and live in those areas. So that's our big concern.
I got a question. Looking at the topo on the footprint that you had, is any of this runoff gonna go into Carruth Road? There's no storm drainage there. So my question is it all being run down into Brazel's Pond, or is it all, or part of it, is it divided and half of it's gonna go on a street out on Carruth Road, or is it all gonna go down to Brazel's Pond? That's another question. Have you guys looked at that at all? I can't tell by the plan because it's so.
So the driveway will shed water towards Carruth Road.
Oh, it will. Okay.
I have a question. Now, how will this affect the 2 houses on either side of the property that already have water problems in their basement from this runoff?
So from where the proposed house is down to Carruth Road, as far as I understand, that entire area sheds towards Carruth Road. So it's not going to change the water patterns considerably.
What does that mean? What does that considerably mean?
It means it's
That's gonna
not
change the
going
water
to,
pattern
it's
considerably.
not going to make a great
Define
big,
that.
it's
Not
not
gonna
going to be a
make a-
measurable increase. There used to be a home that was on this property, and that home has already been removed. And this driveway
The home
doesn't,
also wasn't a 5-bedroom dwelling.
the driveway doesn't equate to the size of that home, which was going to say that the impervious area that's shedding out to Carruth Road is actually, I would say, has been reduced.
Get your time. Okay, go ahead.
My name's Hugh Cameron. I have bought the property right next door where this is going, and I'm in the lowest part in Carruth Road. And when it rains, I get all the water in my backyard. And you said that some of this water's gonna come out and add to this. So my yard's gonna be underwater. And even in the spring, water table is only like a foot below my lawn right now. So if you're gonna be adding, how am I gonna get rid of this water? I got a sub pump that runs in the spring for 3-4 months straight, every day, because of the water table, without any extra water coming in. So I'd like to know what you're gonna do about that.
Have you determined the flows, the potential flows that are going to add to this gentleman's issues that he has already without this hardscape being put in?
Oh. Wow.
This is a single-family home, and typically, a single-family home permit does not require someone to measure the existing flow off the site and measure the proposed flow off the site.
Let's talk about your definition of single-family home. First of all, it's a
let's not
facility.
talk about that. That's not.
Well, he brought it up. He brought it up. I didn't bring it up. He said it's a single-family home, and I'm saying it's a facility, a campus. It has a lot of hardscape, and it has a lot of flow off of the hardscape into we're talking about the environmental issues of runoff. And that's what we're talking about here. And this is what this gentleman has a problem with, because he has a problem with it already, without all this hardscape flow onto Carruth Road down into his property.
All right.
George, Mr. Bresnahan had his hand up at one point in time.
Okay. Mr. Bresnahan, where are you?
Yeah, how you doing? I have a question for Mr. Terry. He mentioned prior that there would be less of an impact of the runoff with the structure and the hardscape. Is that just an opinion, or is there any documentation that that's the case?
So looking at the original property, the farm home and the outbuildings, that was more impervious area on the property than what this proposal is for a home and the paved parking in the back. So with the fact that we're reducing the impervious area from the original conditions, we can say that the runoff from the proposed conditions is going to be less than what's there presently.
There's no way.
I guess, is that like scientific, or is that just like, based on square footage? I mean, it just kind of doesn't make sense to me how.
I'm going to provide that documentation. That's how you do it.
So it would be based on square footage. We have not measured the square footage of the existing conditions and the square footage of the proposed conditions.
Can you provide that documentation of that, what you just said?
If the board requests it, we will.
Note that with the board. That along with the other stuff.
You never did answer my question with all that extra water I'm gonna get in my yard when it comes off that driveway you're proposing to put in, running right down across my front lawn, right in my yard, and just stacking up like a pond. I mean, but yeah, it already does,
Have you talked to Highway about the situation?
Talk to who?
You talk to the Highway Department. They're in charge of the roads. If the water comes out and it's going where it's going, it's not our job. It's Highway's job. And if they don't know about it,
put a berm at the end of my driveway years ago, and it still doesn't work. When we get flash flood rains, I get flooded. Period. And you're gonna add to it, exactly, by running more water right down. What am I gonna have a speed bump that's 2 feet high at the end of my driveway to keep the
Well,
water?
I think
coming
you're
out?
being a little sarcastic. I don't think that's necessary,
I
okay?
know, but I'm just making.
I
my
know what
point.
you're doing.
I have a water problem already, and I don't need another big one.
How does the highway department?
Okay. Any,
Well, I'd
any
like to see
new
the
people want to
flows.
talk? Any
What
new
are the-
people want to talk?
What are the flow estimates on this? Can you provide some of that? What you can anticipate based on annual rainfall? This is 40 million gallons or 40,000 gallons or 400 gallons is going to flow off of this hardscape onto Carruth Road, shooting down on an average annual rainfall thing, so he can anticipate what's going to be in his backyard or into his driveway. Where's that information? Do we have that information? We should have that information.
If I might hop in, Mr. Terry has stated multiple times that there will be less runoff because of the reforestation and
Thank you.
That's
other
You're talking about the other aspect of the property. We're not talking about going down to Brazos Pond. And Mr. Demick pretty much pointed out how that flows. But anyway, you indicated that this other vegetation is going to absorb that. He doesn't have vegetation. He's got hardscape driveway going into his property. There's no vegetation sucking up that extra water that's going to be flowing off during a rainstorm or a rain event. And where is the estimated flow that it's going to be, that you have, did you do the calculations of that? Did you figure that out from the annual rainfall? This amount of water is going to be dumped onto Carruth Road. It's going to go down into this guy's property on that end of it. Have we done that study? Question.
maybe Lori can answer. Lori, at what point do they need stormwater calculations submitted?
We haven't gotten an application for a building yet. Usually anything in that application triggers the zoning enforcement officer who reviews the permit application. So we don't have that yet. And normally with a single family house, depending on if it fits the zoning or not, that's what triggers where it goes next.
You know, that's a good point, Lori. A single family house. We're talking about a campus. We're talking about a facility here. We're talking about a revenue incentive facility that's going to go in here. That's not just a single, it's not a normal single family resident. So,
and I'm
you
sure
know what? We have to really define it, what it is. Okay.
I'm
So
sure
with that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I'm sure that the Richard Hanks, who's the zoning enforcement officer, he looks at everything when it comes in. And I will be sure to include, because I've gotten other emails and notices, to include all of that for his review.
Good. So obviously we need a definite continuance on this issue, for sure.
I don't know why you are pushing for the continuance. It shouldn't be you pushing for anything to do with that. It's up to us to decide if we want to.
Well, I'm just voicing my opinion.
I know what you're saying, Mr. Pease, but please.
Yeah.
You've said enough. You've said it. You've repeated it 3 times. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Andrews, Terry
Yes.
Griffiths would like to speak also.
Yes. Go ahead, Terry.
No, I'm gonna digress. I've heard a lot, you know. I am concerned. I'm concerned about carbon footprint and how it might impact Mr. Pease's farm, and I'm concerned about Brazos Pond runoff if it's part of the Ware River watershed, and
That's what I was
you know.
trying to remember.
But I also see the positive in it. I mean, maybe if the facility was willing to work with some of the residents on the hill to plant trees that would suck up more water, it could be a win-win, you know? I mean, sometimes if you just think things through or calm down, sometimes things could be a win-win, you know? I'm just gonna keep listening now and see where it goes.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you. Terry, you still there?
Yeah, oh.
No, the other Terry. I've lost everybody.
Do you mean Mr. Terry?
Mr. Terry, yes.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, so has anybody looked into that being the Ware River watershed frontage? And then do they have to file with DCR if it is?
So-
Because I know the other side of the street is, that's why I was asking.
So because we were outside the wetland buffer, we did not feel that this project would warrant any watershed analysis.
Okay.
So we've not done that.
Amanda, what is it in your opinion?
Honestly, I think this is a cut and dry RDA. I think any additional issues that the neighbors might have need to go through the zoning board because they are not conservation.
Okay. So, is anybody willing to issue a negative determination?
I make a motion to close the public hearing and issue a negative determination on the RDA.
The other Amanda? You?
Second.
I'm looking for a vote. Second, thank you. Okay. The other members of the board, how do we vote? Dave? Simmons?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
The other Amanda? Yeah. Okay, both of you, yeah. Vinny, are you there? Vincent, are you there? He must have a lot. Okay, and
I'm here. I'm here.
okay.
I'm driving away.
Okay, how do you vote on a negative determination? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and I also vote for the negative determination. Anything else will have to be taken up with the zoning board once the paperwork is in and we see where it goes from there. I will now close this meeting at 6:46. Thank you very much for everybody that came in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, thank you.
You.
Okay, meeting is closed at 6:46.
He is not within 100 feet of the wetlands, so they can proceed without a notice of intent. Now, the neighbors do have a certain appeal period, and I don't remember what it is for that also.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay. We're going to do common next, I believe. Okay, hang on, let me find my paperwork. All right. Okay, we're going to do 19 Oak Street next. This is a NOI. It is now 6:48. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Homeowners Protection Act. Okay, somebody else was there to showed up. Okay, Protection Act. The public hearing will be held in notice of intent by Mark Popham, IRS, on behalf of. No, that's what we just did. I'm sorry.
No, that was right.
Was it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What am I reading? Okay, this isn't written right. Okay. On behalf of Right There Communication. They also have this one. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Project location is 19 Oak Street, map 1-04, parcels 16 and 17. Description of project is construction of a 3-bedroom home within the buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The hearing will be held on August 17, 2020 at 6 p.m. through Zoom on TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact Lori Weedy at lweedy@templetonmass.gov for instructions on how to participate. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Developmental Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road, during regular business hours. George Andrews. Okay. Were Mr. Popham there? Somebody there representing?
I don't see either Terry or Mark.
Okay, you don't see Terry or Mark. Okay, do we want to put that aside? Open it? Close it? What do we want to do? Amanda?
If nobody has any comments about it, I can make an emotion to approve it.
Okay. All right. Nobody else is here to back with? Make a motion to approve it?
I'll second a motion to approve.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to be approved. Is there any questions? All those in favor?
There.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay.
Aye.
This one here is just a construction of a new home that was being put in where the old one was. That's why it was approved the way it was. Thank you. That's 19 Oak Street. Okay. Now the next two are going to be Baptist Common Road, Lot 1 and Lot 2. That one was closed at 6:50. The new one is being opened at 6:51. Okay. Trevor, are you here?
I am indeed.
You are indeed. Okay, would you like to start your thing?
Sure, I guess.
Sure.
So, do you have to read it first, George, or do you want me to just go?
Oh, I got. So I forgot I got to read it.
All right.
Gotta figure out where I put you. Okay, notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and the public hearing will be held on the notice of intent filed by Carruth Engineers on behalf of Scribner Development, LLC. Project location is on Baptist Common Map 4-07, parcel 90.50. Description of project is construction of a 3-bedroom home on each of the 2 lots within the buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The hearing will be held August 17th, 2020 at 6 p.m. via Zoom through TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact Lori Witter at templetonmass.gov for instructions on how to participate. The notice of intent is available to the public review of the Developmental Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. So we will do Lot 1 first?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically we subdivided this larger parcel into 2 parcels, and the one on the left is going to be Lot 1. And there's a small wetland in the front corner of the property that we located, and we have the entire septic system 100 feet out, and to put the house kind of in line with the opening in the stone wall that's currently there. That's why the house is kind of situated a little bit closer to the center of the lot, which kind of pushed it into about like 75 feet off of the wetland. And the associated grading that's going to be associated with the project due to the high groundwater on the site is gonna push the limit of work just outside of the 50-foot wetland offset. And yeah, so that's what we have there, and I'll take any questions.
Okay. Amanda, any questions from the board? The other Amanda, no. Okay, can I get a vote to okay it? Vote, yeah, sure. Hey.
I'll make the motion to accept.
I'll make a motion. Thank you, David. You make a motion. I'm sorry.
Second.
I'm do this right now. Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 I,
Vinny, are you still there?
He said aye.
You did, okay.
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you, do I get an aye or a no vote?
No, I said aye.
Okay, and I also agree. It has been approved as stated. Now, the only questions we have for Trevor, when are they going to apply for the driveway permits? Do you know?
Not yet. I haven't talked to the applicant, but soon after these, I'm sure that's going to be the next step in the process.
Okay, because we did talk about keeping those big trees in the front and keeping some frontage there before they go in and mess up the road.
Yeah, like we said, I believe we're going to try to use those existing openings in the stone wall, so no trees should have to cut down, and the big ones anyway.
All right. Okay, so we're ready to go to lot 2. Lot 1 is approved. Lot 2. Go ahead.
You want to read it, or do you want me to just go right for it?
Go right forward.
All right.
I read it as lot 1 and 2, so.
Yeah. So lot 2, the best place to put the septic was a little bit further back on the lot, and so we did the testing. You know, we held 50 feet off of the wetland, just because we didn't know exactly how we were going to subdivide the lots. But the soil was marginal. That's why the septic system's so big on this lot, and the groundwater was also high, and that's what raised the house up considerably. And the associated grading with this kind of made the limit of work a little bit bigger. And so the house is going to end up, the grading around the house, I should say, is going to encroach within like 25 or up to 25 feet away from a portion of the wetland. Most of it's right around like 35 feet away though. And, but yeah, we're trying to keep the best buffer that we could on that. And everything's going to be protected by silt fence. So.
Okay. Are there any questions from Dave? You weren't there with us, but.
No questions.
Okay. Amanda and Amanda?
No questions. Jennifer?
No.
Okay, can somebody make a motion to accept it?
So moved. I just wanted to say that.
I'll second.
A second. For all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. So voted. It's closed to 6:58. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay, and make sure I get those other numbers up on those signs.
Yeah, the NOI file numbers. Yep. As soon as we get them, I think DEP is a little slow to act on these right now. We're still waiting for some that we filed like 2 weeks ago. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Bye.
Take care now. Okay. I saw Terry sneak out.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Terry Aho. I listened to my thing on Oak Street and that went fine, but I just want to tell you that I was muted by the host, so I couldn't participate. But anyway, I don't know if you're hearing me now or not.
Yeah, I am now. You were approved already.
Yeah, I seen it happen, but somebody muted my voice, so I couldn't, and that was just okay. All right, but
Okay.
I made my effort to attend the meeting. I
Okay,
wasn't
thank you.
skipping out.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, do we know if anybody is here for this one? My last one? Hang on, let me get it.
Last one, you have 2.
Oh my God, I have I have
Otter
the
River
one that,
Road is
on
next.
Otter River Road next, I'm sorry. I will do that one first.
And Julian Vitruber, I can see he's on.
I'm here. Hi. How's
Okay,
everybody?
Yeah, we'll get back to you next, okay. Okay, this one, where I'm going to open is 659, Otter River Road, map 5.9, parcel 21, notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act. The public hearing will be held on the notice of intent filed in New England Environmental, by New England Environmental Design on behalf of Corey Stewart. Project location is Otter River Road, map 5-9, parcel 21. Description of project is construction of a single-family home within the buffer zone and the bordering vegetated wetland and river zone. The hearing will be held on August 17, 2020 at 6 p.m. via Zoom through TCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact Lori Weeder at Templeton.mass.gov for information on how to participate. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Developmental Service Offices, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road, during regular office hours. George Andrews, Templeton, Mass. Okay, let's see if I can find. Okay, Corey Stewart. All right. Is this Julian? This is yours.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good. We're proposing a single-family home on this property. The house and the septic are outside the 100-foot, but the driveway comes in from Otter River Road to the front of the house, and there's a little brook along the side of the road. That's why we had to deal with the rivers, but we're not doing anything within any area that's going to disturb or create any issues. It's a very flat lot. The driveway, there was an existing driveway there when I got involved, and they're just going to continue it to where the house is going to be in the middle of the lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to keep as far away from any of the resources as we could.
Okay. We were there for a sidewalk last week. We know what we're talking about. Okay, is one of the stewards on? No, you're by yourself. Okay,
I believe so.
I do
All right,
want to remind everybody that's listening that we prefer to come out for site walks before you start cutting trees. As a matter of fact, you're not supposed to be cutting trees near wetland areas unless you have filed your RDA or NOI for the public.
Yes, because we found a lot of logs done and a lot wide open without a site walk before it was done. Okay. Oh, anybody want to say anything about this other than that? Okay, would somebody want to?
Have the riprap at
Oh, yes.
both ends of the pipe on the.
Yeah, there's
driveway?
there's that pipe across the driveway. We asked them to put riprap on both sides. Julian?
Oh, no problem with that. I'll make sure they follow through on that.
Okay, because we don't
Keep
want
it from eroding. Yeah.
we don't want it going into the water on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. And
We're looking for like 2-inch riprap.
Yeah. 2-inch.
Yep. Okay. Anything else we forgot? Okay, can I have somebody
I'll make a motion to accept.
make a motion? Okay. Vinny?
I'll second that.
Okay. Amanda and Amanda.
Yes.
Okay, and me also. And it has been approved, and we can close this hearing at 7:04.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the next.
While you're getting going, Mr. Druin was having a problem getting on. Steve, if you're listening, I'm not sure if you can see him or not.
Nope.
We cannot see him.
Can't see him?
No.
No.
Okay.
That one's done. Give me the next one. Yeah. Okay, it's 7:06, thereabout. Baldwinville Road, map 5-01, parcel 49 notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and public hearing will be held on the notice of intent filed by New England Environmental Design LLC on behalf of Alan Druin. Project location is Baldwinville Road, map 506, parcel 49. Description of project and continuation, a 55+ housing park within the buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The hearing will be held on August 17th, 2020 at 6 p.m. via Zoom and PCTV. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should contact Lori Wida at Templeton mass.gov for instructions on how to participate. The notice of intent is available for public review and at the developmental office, room 3, 160 Patriots Road, during regular business hours. Okay.
Hi, Julian again. I can describe the project a little bit. It's a senior housing project. It's about a 500-foot driveway, and it's located on 20 acres of land. The wetlands, I believe you guys were out there last springtime or last summer or last fall.
All we did was read the, make sure that things are on there. We didn't do a complete going everywhere, but we did find all your tags that are on the trees.
So what we did is Al wanted to, maybe he's listening, hopefully he's listening. He wanted to make this as least impactful as possible. So we didn't decide to go any further and through any wetlands. So we did the whole design just getting close to the buffer zone. So there's no actual impacts of wetlands proposed in this. There's a small wetland right up at Baldwinville Road. As you come into the project on the right, it's actually just there's a culvert pipe that goes under Baldwinville Road, and looks like they excavated a little pocket there years ago so that the water would go through the culvert. And then the other wetland pretty much splits the land from one side of the property to the other, from north to south. So we've kept all our proposed work to the east of that. We completely use stormwater management to its full extent. We calculated, there's a big report that I submitted with this to your board to show that we've addressed all runoff for all the different storms that stormwater requires, 2-year, 10-year, 25-year, 100-year. We've got a detention pond located on the backside that's going to be serviced by a swale. All the water is going to run off into swales and work its way to this detention pond, which has been calculated to handle these different storms. That's pretty much what we're proposing to do. It has gone before the planning board, so it's in their hands also. So, but that's what they're going to do with this.
Yes, and whereas we have not heard anything from planning board yet, I'm going to ask to have this particular thing moved until next month, so that we can read everything that we've finally gotten. And way too much for us to do in the 4 days that we had it. We're going to ask for a continuance till next month, if that is fine with you people.
That's, Al wants to work with you guys, so that's perfect. We just want to I just want to reiterate that I've done everything so that we stay completely out of the wetlands. We're in the buffer zone, but we didn't want to do any crossings of any kind. And it's a 20-acre parcel, and we're only using about 4 acres of it.
And now you made a comment, and you're putting in one driveway, no
One
road,
driveway.
no cul-de-sac.
It's a driveway to service all these. It's like a road, but it's not going to be a public road. It's an access road for a private property.
Well, has the fire department okayed the width of the road and?
It meets, it's 500 feet long, which is what's allowed under your subdivision rules and regs. And in those same regs, it says, if you follow those regs, this is allowed, but it's in the process. The fire department has it, the police department has it, the Board of Health has this, the DPW has this. So everybody has a copy of this. Probably a month ago, they all received it.
Oh, I don't know. We just got ours last week.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to move this till next month. What is that, September 21st?
Okay.
Laurie, is that right?
Honestly, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I can look on my phone.
I think it's the 21st. Paperwork you gave.
Yes, September 21st.
Okay, so we're going to move it till then, and hopefully we get these some of these things back from the fire department and all that there, so we can know exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, I need to get somebody to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to move it to next month.
Okay.
Seconded.
Oh, it's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, so moved. The hearing is done at 7:12, and we will have the rest next month.
Thank you.
Okay, so all you people that are listening and want to talk about that next month, same place on Zoom, as far as I know, so that's what it's going to be, unless something surprises me. I like that smile, Laurie. Okay. Oh, is there anything else that the board needs to talk about? Bring anything up? Dave?
Nope, not offhand.
All right, site walks tomorrow night? I got 3 of them,
What time?
starting at 4:30.
4:30.
4:30, 25 Starfire Drive. Right there on the corner. Could be the last house as we go in. Amanda and Amanda, did you hear that?
Mhm.
Are you both available or?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
what's that?
to direct you to karate, though, unless I can get Alex to do it. But yeah. Tomorrow
Huh?
or next Tuesday?
Tomorrow, we have, I have 3 so far.
Okay.
Possibly 4. Okay, I will see you tomorrow night.
All right. Sounds good.
Laurie, anything else?
No.
No, okay. Teresa?
Motion to close, say goodbye.
Okay. We shall say goodbye. Meeting is now over at 7:12. And we need a motion to close the meeting.
I make a motion to close the meeting.
I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Bye. You're so close. Thank you all.
Good night, folks. Good night,
Night,
folks.
Thank
Laurie,
you.
Laurie, you all set?
I'm all set.
All right. Go home.
Home.
Go home. Bye. I will get the stuff back to you signed tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All but the last one. You want me to keep that one or?
Uh,
I'll let you hold